Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are you doing? It's Russie from Porky's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. We say the things on here that nobody dares say. Now, before we start, I'm just going to give you a little intro here. www.boxersinneed.com, right? That's Gary Cornforth's idea from the beginning. It's Boxers in Need, right? It's £1 a month. If you can't afford it, you'll know somebody who can. If you need to know more about it, all you've got to do is go and look at Peter Fury's Twitter or Huey Fury's Twitter, or go onto the link, www.boxersinneed.com. Andy will probably pin it to the comment section, or sorry, I'll put it on comment section, or Gary will, to this video, and I will personally pin it myself. But I'm not tech minded, and my tech guy is off at the moment because he's had a death in family. All right, so that's Gary's shout out. Also, we've just done a video, Porky's International. Me and Andy have just done it. I think it's about 20 minutes, wasn't it, Andy?
Yeah.
20 minutes. Just to break the ice and tell you about Andy's charity, the Macmillan Trust. He's just done a 26-mile walk. I think Gary put 50 quid in pot for you, didn't he?
Yeah, good man.
Yeah, good man, Gary. Like I said in that video, I big Gary up, not bigging him up because for the sake of it. Everything he said he's going to do, he's delivered. If you don't believe me, go and speak to Peter Fury, who's a very good friend of mine. He's now a good pal of Gary's. He's done. He does what he says on tin, Gary. That's what it is. But Porky's International is our sister channel. I'm the driving force behind it. It's mine and Cameron's channel. He's the tech guy. That's basically it. We do other sports and other discussions. We might even be doing some stuff on politics, prison service. We might even tackle immigration because I'm not frightened of tackling anything. All right. If people want to say, "Oh, Porky, you're a racist," so be it. It don't bother me out like that. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? We say it as it is. All right. You want to say, Porky, you're a racist? Who cares? I'm thick-skinned. So what? Say what you want. All right. Have I had a beer? Yeah, I've had a beer. We've got this here, 50% Smirnoff. Thought I'd treat me centre up at 6, pounding streets, trained hard. I mean, fantastic shape. I thought I'd treat me son. I don't normally treat me son, but thought I would. But the problem is, I usually when I treat me son, Andy, I just want to go out there and take drugs, and loads of them, plenty of them. So I love drugs; they're my mates. But I seem to be more strong-minded since I moved to Four Oaks. I don't. There's not many around here. Nobody takes out. Nobody drinks either. Not at £8.50 for a Peroni. So I've been teetotal. But yeah, I do go out on that, but not much, mate. I'm a bit of an home bird these days. To say
I hardly ever go out myself. I only go out to my shed, that's about it.
yeah.
I've never done drugs, but I've enjoyed a drink over the years, now and again.
Just in case you're watching, ma'am, yeah, I'm on Pepsi. I'm adding it to this drink here. Pop, pop, bang.
Pepsi and Pepsi.
Big shout out to my mate Frank Smith and Sparkling John from Welcome Estates. Frank Smith from Bury. Frank, I haven't forgot about you. I'm coming to Manchester in about 2 weeks after Joshua fight. I'm coming to Manchester and I'll come and see you. All right. I might even stop at yours, Frank, so I'll get a spare bed ready because it saves me paying for an hotel. Good friend of mine, Frank, very close friend of mine. Big shout out to Richard. I don't know what country you're in. Hope you're well. Big Richard sent me a text yesterday. I don't know where. I never know what country he's in because he's all over Europe anyway. His job and that. And every time he goes away, he buys a new watch. He come down factory the other day. I was sat there with John from Welcome Estates and a kid called Nick. Somebody's pulled up in a brand new X5 here. Didn't think no of it. Thought, well, it ain't be Richard. He's got that 8 Series convertible, hasn't he? He just checked their last to an X5. Must be nice, isn't it? Hey?
Oh, aye.
When you're multi-fly, swimming in Cho Chai. I like to see people do well, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to see people do well. So, but other than that, bit of good news for you, Andy. My Volvo's done. Yeah, they've stood. The warranty ran out on the 25th of August, but the previous owner complained about the slave cylinder, like you said, slave cylinder.
Yeah.
6 months before. If this person hadn't done that, I'd have been knackered. It would have been 1,100 quid. So
That's all right. Isn't it?
yeah, I'm happy as Larry. I give him a drink like for looking after me. Do you know what I mean? So they did it. It were up at home, kid. Like, so I'm happy. Basically it was a faulty slave cylinder. So all the guys, they just complained, don't they? But this is what happens, you see, when you put replica bits on a newish car. Do you know what I mean? Well, not newish, but it's had a couple of MOTs. But if you put replica bits on, you should never put replica clutch bits on a car. You should always try and put the proper clutch on, shouldn't you? Because if you put in a replica clutch onto a main clutch, or part of that might not be replica. Do you see where I'm coming from? You're an engineer, aren't you? So you know about that shit, don't you? And my mate Frank Smith, he'll know about that. But when I got it, I had it serviced. I thought, no, there's a leak here. And a kid from Doncaster who serviced it, he says, "You've got a problem here with clutch." Just top it up with clutch fluid. See, it'll leak out, Russ. I went, I'm not bothered. It'll be right. I'll keep topping it up. But it just slipped my mind. And I got stuck in Sutton Coldfield town centre. And it went on me, didn't it? Like, you know what happened? It just sticks at the bottom, doesn't it? So I've got these dickheads pipping me. Well, I'm usually one of them when somebody breaks down in the middle of traffic lights. You've got 2 ways that way, 2 ways that way. I've got this prick pipping me going, get out of the fucking way. You know what I mean? Brian goes to that guy if somebody's in my way and they've dropped down. So that's karma, isn't it? So I managed to get it in gear or something, and I came back here in first gear.
Start it in gear, aye.
First gear for about 4 mile, 3 mile or something, but pop bang on that one. But other than that, 90 odd to gallon, kid.
Aye. Fresh air.
How's about that and no tax? How can I part with that? After some of the episodes I've had with cars over the last few years. You know, that RAV4, 365 quid tax. This RAV4,
yeah.
365.
I might Type R was over 400 quid a year. I think my Merc's about 30 quid a month anyway. It's
quid a day tax for that.
Nah.
You know what I mean? I thought, well, I might as well run this one here. Free tax. 3 grand, isn't it?
I used to have a Civic like that. I used to have a diesel Civic.
91.1 auto trader to gallon at 56 mile an hour. I felt like pulling it out and knocking one out. Swear to God, man, I had to go somewhere the other day, 200 mile. I thought, I ain't got no in tank. I only had 2 little lights. I thought, I've got enough here. And it just used one of them to get there. I thought, well, I'll get back. I got back with 80 mile left in tank on digital thing. I can't believe it. And you know Max? Max had a big Volvo 4x4 that were right good on Jude. Big Max.
Aye.
And then he comes to see me. I've been running Dennis about in my new car. I said, oh, Dennis will like that, won't he, Max? Yeah. V8 petrol. Max, let me just give you some advice because you're a young gun, aren't you? You know your brain cells in your head, Max? They're as big as your heart, mate, because you've got the heart of a breadcrumb. Oh, Max. So, okie dokie. So we've had a bit of light-hearted entertainment. We've given Porky's International, our sister channel, a shout out. That's doing fantastic. There's 20 odd videos on there now. So that's strong. I think we're over 400 subscribers on there. So give us a subscribe on there. You know what I mean? When we get to 1,000 subscribers, we'll be happy on that one. It's just to talk about something different than boxing, isn't it? Because boxing can drive you insane, can't it? It did me. It take all your savings, you know, because you become engulfed in it. And you want to neglect other things, you know, like I had a car pitch, didn't I, when I started with Dennis? Oh, what do I need to be sitting in the porter cabin for? When I can be sat in Costa all day talking knackers with Dennis about having something bubbling. This is right, isn't it? Bouncing about with Dennis, doing all my dope. I'm not bothered about somebody coming to look at that car. The messes anyway. I'm in boxing industry. It's a load of shit. It's a load of shit. But you've got to find the balance, haven't you? But I got really taken in by that one, didn't I? But do I miss Dennis? Oh. But he's a good guy, Dennis. Dennis, let's get at it.
A rematch.
Max is not out on October 19th. Is that the 6th or the 7th time Dennis has pulled you off a show? Sooner or later, Max, the penny will drop. But what Dennis will do, Max, he will tell you you're on his Christmas Bonanza show, right? And what you'll be doing till then, you'll be running around like a blue-ass fly for Dennis, and then he'll pull you off at show and say, oh, Max, opponents pull out, visa problems. It is what it is. People life at sake of lying in boxing. They can't help it. You've got men walking around with walking sticks in boxing. Do you know what I mean? Boxing trainers. Unbelievable. You've got men that have killed people, managing people, and promoting them. What's happening? Only
Crazy
in
world.
boxing. There is good people in boxing. Listen, South Yorkshire people in boxing are fantastic. Right, China's. From what I've seen, but nobody's putting no shows on, are they? Where are all these big shows? Where's all these big hitters in boxing that were going to do wonders, and all they're doing is sitting on cucumbers? What is happening, Andy? Tell me.
I heard about Turkey Al Sheikh was on Talk Sport today talking about stuff. Did you see it? Did you hear that? And he's on about coming over. He's wanting to speak to. He's open to criticism. He said, He's
I'm going to do
wanting
an impression of tea towel turkey. Watch this. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Let me get that from tea towel. Where's that tea towel? Tea towel turkey. I nearly had one same as him over there. I'll show you who he is. This is what I think about him. Ready? This is him. That's him, innit?
That's it.
Tea towel turkey. Tea towel on his head. And everybody's noshing him off because he's got a few quid. You see, what you've got in boxing is you've got people like Bricktop and Barry Epstein, sworn enemies, 40-year, sworn enemies, right? Ever since Barry Epstein lifted Bricktop's leg when he got him in with that IGM or whatever it were called, he got him involved with snooker, didn't he? He lifted Bricktop's leg, didn't he? I don't know if it were then or if it were before then or if it were when they put Bugner in with Frank Bruno, but they were never going to get on, them two, right? They were never going to get on. But now all of a sudden, they're all best mates. Dear God, why is that? I'm going to tell you why. Because they're getting a few quid out of the job, right? That's what happens. And people lose their minds over a few quid, sell their souls. And there are souls. They will do that to get a few quid. The brass neck on them is unbelievable. Now, when I first saw the press conference of them two, Eddie Hills and Bricktop, now we all know that Eddie wasn't going to give Bricktop a leg up, but Bricktop got in first with that triple T, didn't he? Tea towel turkey, right?
Yeah.
Bricktop got in first. Oh, and all of a sudden, Eddie, didn't you, Eddie?
Out in the cold.
They wanted to be mates, didn't they, Andy? They wanted to be mates. So these to me are not real men, because Bricktop should have said, "Get gone." You didn't want to give me a leg up when I were on back foot. Eddie were on back foot then, and Bricktop gave him a leg up. Why did he give him a leg up? I'll tell you why. Because he needed him. They both needed each other. Johnny Orscott's right. Johnny Nelson called it straight. Why he couldn't do that at Sky, I don't know. Johnny Nelson's called it straight, old Orscott. They both needed each other. That's the bottom line. They both needed each other, mate. They wanted to get a few quid out of the job. And what they do, you see, they show themselves up because they sold their souls. And they want everybody else to do that now. There's a lot of people in the boxing industry, people who say to me, who I've met in the last 10 years, my word is made of oak. This is the things that people come out with in boxing. My word's made of oak. We don't kiss. You know who you are. We don't kiss arse, people used to tell me. We don't kiss arse. We'll never speak to him again. I used to go, yeah. When I used to walk out Dennis's office, Dennis used to say, "This time next year, Russ." I say, "Yeah." I said, "Watch what happens." And do you know what? I'll give Dennis his dues because he's seen it all, hasn't he? Dennis has had a promoter's license since 90s. He's seen it all. And it would happen. These people would jump back into bed with these people, then back out, then back in, then back out. And I'd be like, and eventually it did my head in that much that I had to walk from it. I had to, because you're listening to bullshit all the time. Don't worry about it, we've got something bubbling. What have you got bubbling? All you're doing, all it is a load of insecure men talking a load of shit in Costa. That's all it is. Having a cheese toasty up my draw. Talking a load of shite. That's what
bubbling bullshit.
Bubbling bullshit. That's what it is. But could you imagine if you were co-accused with these men? They'd put you in, mate, to sell the to save the necks. Now, when I saw Eddie Hearn or Eddie Hills, when I seen him giving Bricktop a reach around, I thought, wow.
You know all now.
I remember when Eddie used to send me emails saying, can you put this out? Can you put that out? Yeah, and I used to do it. I used to put it out there because our Frotchers, big fan one at the time. Still am. But I were all for Frotch and Eddie was his promoter. And I went, yeah, all right, then I'll put that out. And now look, they're all mates, aren't they? Well, Frotch and Eddie aren't mates, are they now? So
Frotch was telling it straight on IFL the other day, wasn't he? He was telling it straight.
56 minutes. I hadn't seen it. I've seen 10 minutes of it. I'm going to watch that.
I seen a shorter one. It was only.
Well, it's took out that, innit? What they do, they've got the 56 minutes worth of adverts, and then they take. It's like me taking 10 minutes out of this 40-minute thing here and putting it out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that because people see. But this is what they do because they've got no more content. They can't sit there and put scripts together like me. But I was doing this as a young man, one for club comedians. So it's really easy for me to do this. Do you know what I mean? I've been doing it since I was a young man. But they can't do that. That's why they're behind the camera. Like that man's good. He knows his boxing. But he ain't got that get up and go like me, has he, in front of the camera? He's behind it.
Never see his face, Never see his face.
No, he's probably old Bill or something like that. Gully. He's behind camera, isn't he? PC Gully. Aren't you, Gully? PC Gully, Boxing King Media. You work for South Yorkshire Police. You're a policeman. How have you got access in boxing? Why are people licking your arsehole? You're a copper. Am I right?
I seen Johnny Nelson telling him he knows 3 people on silent bands,
Yeah, well, name them, Johnny. Name them. Stop coming out with rubbish like that. Name them. Dylan White, Conor Ben, and who's the other one? There's a question mark on third, isn't there? Why didn't he just say 4? And Duke job right. Why not say 10? Because I bet there's loads got away with it. Because once they sign that non-disclosure, they can't say a word. They don't want to lose the job, so they give other people bullets to fire, like me. Frotch probably knows about it, but he don't want to burn bridges, does he? But he's burnt enough, hasn't he? But somebody like Carl comes out and says, well, I've heard so-and-so's on a silent ban. It'll be brilliant. But if he's got mates who are around that guy, he's not going to say it, is he? He's close friends with Tony Sims, isn't he, Frotch? Frotch and Tony Sims are good mates. Tony Sims trains Conor Ben. So Frotch ain't going to come out and accuse Conor Ben, but he'll accuse everybody else. You can't have it. You can't have it both ways, Carl. You've got to be one or other. You can't be half and half. With some people, you've got to go full in. That's what I say. See where I'm coming from? I'll tell it straight. He'll probably respect that. He knows that. But do you seriously think Eddie's going to go on Carl's channel? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Didn't see it, no.
Why is that? Because he stuck it to Joshua. Is Joshua going to go on his channel? No.
No.
There you go. Eddie's not going to burn bridges with Joshua, is he? Right. So.
Yeah.
So why
Just
not?
Golden Goose.
Come out, Carl, and get stuck into Eddie. I've a good idea why him and Eddie are not like they were. So come out and instead of beating about the bush, that's what I want to see. Get it all out in the open. Do you mind going on IFL and lining their fucking pockets? Yeah, I'd like to see Eddie on Carl's channel. That'd be good for his channel, wouldn't it? But I'd also like him on my channel, Carl. But he hasn't come on, has he? And he's been mate of 17 years. So it's a bit disappointing, isn't it? But he's disappointed Eddie won't go on his channel, isn't he? And that's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm all right about it. But I don't think he's all right about it with Eddie, is he? But there's
Nah.
a bit more to it than there's a bit more to it, isn't there, Eddie? So let's have it all out in open. Let's have it all out in open, and let's everybody see what set up that lot at Essex are. Because let's have it right, the Cobra built Matchroom, didn't he? They were going nowhere with Darren Barker and Kel Brook, were they? Come on. And Audley Harrison. Do me a favour. They signed the Cobra.
Aye.
You got your footing with Super 6. Then you've got Booty. And then you're off and running, aren't you then? Kessler.
Did it the hard way.
Kessler, Yusuf Mack, and Yusuf Mack, Kessler, and then 2 Groves fights. And then everybody and the dad wants to work with you after Wembley, don't they? So let's give the Cobra some respect. I mean, Carl got a lot of things wrong in that 10-minute thing I said. He said him and Pascal fought for WBA, didn't they? He went WBC. Let me just point a few things out here. Right, because they're not giving him respect here, Carl. And I don't think Carl really knows how good his CV is. I don't know if he's punch drunk or what. Let me just point a few things out. He's fought 8 Olympians, 8. Plus George Groves, who done De Gale, who were Olympic gold. But he's fought 8 Olympians. He lost to Ward, and he's done 7 Olympians, right? I'll read Olympians out to you. Len Johnson, Bote, Dirrell, Taylor, Pascal, Brian McGee, Robin Reed. They're your Olympians.
Yeah.
And Brian McGee, IBO, WBA champion, IBO and WBA champion, British and European. Robin Reed, Olympic bronze. And McGee were Olympians. Well, we didn't win a medal. Robin Reed, Olympic bronze. WBC champion, IBO champion. Pascal, WBC IBO champion, also an Olympian. Jermaine Taylor, Olympic bronze. 2 wins over Hopkins. Undisputed middleweight champion, Ronnie Taylor. Frotch done him in last round in a fight he was losing. 6 years later, he was still a world champion, Jermaine Taylor.
Yeah.
He lost his belt, didn't he, 6 years later because he ended up in prison. He'd done Dirrell, Olympic bronze. He was IBF interim champion. One, I'm not sure if he got upgraded or not. I can't remember on that one. Done Kessler, done Arthur Abraham, who were undefeated. He had a DQ on his record, a disqualification, didn't he? But done him. Done Boutte with 10 defences who were pound for pound at the time. Done Pascal, who went on to do Dawson, didn't he? After Frotch took his own. And he was pound for pound. Dawson. Done Grove twice. He was a world champion. Went on to win a world champion. Done Glenn Johnson. He done a few, didn't he? Done Roy Jones, one of them, didn't he?
Roy Jones, yeah.
I know Glenn Johnson were knocking on a bit, but that were in a tournament, so Carl had no choice in opponent. He didn't select the opponent.
Yeah.
His record is unbelievable. He lost to Andre Ward. 2 judges had him losing by 2 rounds in a stinker of a fight where Ward wasn't engaged. So why they're not giving him his respect? He's an Hall of Famer. 4 belts he's got. British title outright. Do you know what I mean? And Eddie there being a prick. Being an absolute prick because he has to nosh off Joshua or give him a reach round. Because that's what's happening, is it? Joshua's Eddie's cash cow. If Eddie goes on the Cobra's channel, it's not going to look good for Eddie with Joshua, is it? He needs to keep him. No. That's how Eddie works. If Joshua were dead and buried and Frotch were managing a fighter, say his son,
be different.
If Rocco Frotch turned pro, Eddie Hearn would be all over Carl Frotch's channel. Yeah, he'd be all over it, wouldn't he? Like he is Crusher Ben. Getting to Crusher Ben is ranked number 3 in the world on BoxRec over independent overall rankings. BoxRec, isn't it?
What?
Crusher Ben's ranked number 3, right? And he's not got a belt at welterweight. Christopher,
he's not a license.
Andy, you've been butting into me for 2 years. Let me talk.
Sorry, mate.
Shewbank Jr., number 2, middleweight. He's not won out. Yeah, he won a British 8 years ago. What's going on here? Is this because the dads are famous? It's a load of shit. But like I've just said to you there, if Rocco Frotch or Natalia or Penelope, his daughters, if they took up boxing, Eddie Hills, you know what I mean? The 6-0 Iceman from Billericay, 4 by way of, yeah, that don't exist. This fictional character or CV that he's invented. If Eddie Hills seen the Cobra's daughters or that his son were fighting, Eddie'd be on Frotchon Fighting in a heartbeat. Just like he were as soon as Bricktop said, do you want to work with me and Triple T Turkey Tea Towel Turkey? Yes, please, Bricktop. You know, like, do you want a tea? Yeah, tea. Yes, please, Bob. You know, Blockbusters with Bob Olner. P? Yeah, P. Yes, please, Bob. You see where I'm coming from?
Nah,
That's boxing people for you, mate. They
there,
all
boy.
look after themselves. So am I pissed off that the Cobra can't get Eddie on his channel? Yeah, I'd like to see Eddie go on there. But to be fair to the Cobra, he got stuck into Coogan, didn't he? And told me before, he said, listen here, your lot are not asking questions. That's where it needed. Because they're not Coogan. You're not going to let somebody like me ask you questions, because I'd sit there and I'd have about 50. I'd get 50 questions put to you. I'd speak to people who I respect, like Julian McGowan, Rico Elia, Terry Chappendama, Chris Burns, Kent, Swan, Jerry, Mulholland. I'd have all them. I'd say, right, what do you want me to ask this lanky streak of piss from Sri Lanka who's pretending that he's an Essex boy? What do you want me to ask him? Because we all know that you poo-poo it, Coogan, and every time you get access, poo-poo it. That's what they do. And I'm sick of it as well. That's why I do other things now. I'm sick of it because this media now, they're manipulated, Andy. That's what's going on. Manipulation. That's what it is.
Tiptoeing around the subject, tiptoeing around with wearing ballet shoes or something. They're scared to, can't put the boot in, or they can't even up. They're scared to ask anything, aren't they?
Listen,
I mean, think about Eddie Hills. Eddie Hills nearly got Frotch disqualified against Booty, didn't he? Jumped in the ring and the fight was still going.
He made it about him.
It's all him, isn't it?
You know what? I'm going to do a free-parter tonight, and then I'm going to let some bombs off later.
It's like he made it all about him when Bellew won as well, didn't he? Remember he was grabbing Bellew and Bellew.
Did you see Bellew's interview slagging Frotch off because he stuck it to Josh?
I've not seen that one.
Yeah, he's saying, "Oh, I'm disappointed. He shouldn't be saying that." He put a WhatsApp message that Joshua sent him. Well, listen, he only put one on there, but Joshua sent him various horrible voice texts.
Yeah.
Big Meech, you big coward. You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed, Meech. Big bully. He battered somebody 9 stone wet through. And other charge was he had 9 ounces of weed, didn't he, in a sponsored Mercedes with a GB Olympic tracksuit on. He'd sold an ounce. They got proof on his phone, didn't they? And they found the 8 ounce in the boot. He got pulled for speeding, didn't he? And they got this copper said I can smell weed pop boot. They found the other 8 ounce. That's how Joshua broke his bail, didn't he, for that assault? McCracken had to go get him out of prison, didn't he? Got him out after 2 weeks. They got him a combination order, didn't they? Community service and all that nonsense. McCracken got him out of jail, mate. Look how he repaid McCracken. You should be embarrassed, Big Meech. Should be embarrassed. Do you know what I mean? But let me tell you this: the Cobra built Matchroom. He built it with boxing. Where were they heading with Kell Brook and dazzling Darren Barker? Hey, Darren Barker, he's another one. Yeah. Hey, Eddie, you want to reach around? Everybody, Eddie loves a reach. You know what? Somebody said to me over there, "Oh, Eddie loves a rematch." No, I said no. Eddie loves a reach around. You're getting reach around mixed up with rematch. Pop, pop, bang. Speaking of pop, pop, bang, have we heard out from him?
Nothing. I even did my own video about being a walking man. I'm a walking man. Because that's what walking men do. I was born to walk.
Big fight.
I was challenging any man over 50 at a walking contest.
Let me tell you this, Andy, right? Big John Fury's been out of jail 9 years and 1 month, and he's only slapped one person and headbutted one person. He slapped Asif Bali, a rapist who deserved it, allegedly.
That's fair enough, eh?
Oh, other one. He stuck nut on Usyk's Cutman's nephew, did he? were about 26-year-old, 11 stone wet through like me, 5'9" or something. I'm 5'8". 5'8", I'm like me, weight on a good day. He wasn't much heavier than me and about an inch taller or something. He was a young kid, wasn't he? You know, and the kid didn't budge, did he? Big John Fury, big fighting man, eh? Where are you? Hey, it's like I said, what I was saying over there. You know, when Wally Downs Jr. from Sun newspaper, he had John Fury in that interview. Google John Fury, Wally Downs Jr. interview, Sun newspaper, and he asked John Fury who he fought for £100,000 in a bare knuckler 32 years ago. John Fury's reply, for the life of me, I can't remember the man's name. You go, if I fought somebody for 100 quid, I'd remember his name. You mind 100 grand? John Fury never grand then.
If it was the Irish bare knuckle champion, it'd either be Big Joe Joyce, it'd be James Quinn McDonough, Annie McGinley, or Dan Rooney, wouldn't it? It'd be one of they guys. They're all big. They're all well known.
Dan Rooney can fight. I remember watching him on VHS when I was a young man in Nick, and they let some con fetch these videos in for everybody. And we all watched them one Sunday afternoon smoking green. The other guy, James Quinn, he's a fighting man, but also
he's a proper fighting man.
He's an Irish, isn't he? He's an Irishman, isn't he?
Got a lot of respect for him. There's a documentary called Knuckle, and it's about this guy following the family about for about 10 years, and what a fighter he is. I actually seen him in
they were two at main men in early 90s, and John Fury is saying he knocked the main man out in Ireland. Well, I don't hear John Fury knocking out James Quinn, and I don't hear about any main men being iced by you. In fact, I know somebody that knows John very well, and his brother, and people were saying to me, listen, let me tell you this, Russell. He's never had a bare knuckle fight in his life. Pop, pop, bang.
Yeah, rolls.
Unbelievable. You know what it is with these, Andy? I call them shit chatters. You know why? It's chatting shit for the sake of chatting shit. You know what I mean?
I said, just tell the truth, eh? Just tell the truth. I'll make a sitcom or all that kind of stuff. Eh? It's material for a sitcom, isn't it? When you come out with all that.
Let me tell you this: when I get through this lot in part 2 and part 3, people are going to be gasping. I'm coming to end I'm tether with this boxing game, mate. I'm swear to God, coming to end of the rope. In Portugal, on that beach, I thought, what am I going back to here? Right? Studio in a factory, right? And dealing with this load of rubbish, because that's what it is, isn't it? It's a load of shit houses talking a load of knackers, isn't it? Peter Fury's right. It's a load of people paying a load of lip service and just telling untruths. That's where it's right. I said, you know what, Peter? Yeah. You're 100% right. And we agree on probably 99.9% of things, me and him. I don't know if it's because we've done loads of porridge. I don't know, but I just don't know with this sport anymore. But that Ben Challam's had his teeth done. Ben Challam, let me just say this to you. When you have your teeth done, lad, make sure that they're not just straight like that, like Tony Bellew's missus's, because you end up looking like a horse. Make sure they've got a bit of cut in them. So if anybody wants the teeth done, get in touch with me and I'll tell you what you need to ask for. Then you'll have a nice smile like moi. All right. Instead of some of these. Has anybody seen out of Bombay Dave, aka Penfold?
Not seen much of him lately.
Hey, Penfold, I seen you the other day. Yeah, you seen me as well, didn't you, in traffic? Yeah. Do that next time as well. Look away. All right. Good job I didn't have Nicky Smedley in car with me, or his dad Chris. It would have been the end for you. Right, Chris Eubank Jr. Let's have a look. We've got 6 minutes left on part 1. Chris Eubank Jr. is fighting a Dosser who's, well, he's not even ranked in top 15 in any governing bodies. They bumped him up from 104 to 35 on box rate. The day before he got announced. Just trying to make.
Has he been in Canelo, this guy?
Oh, well, I don't mean shite that, does it?
Yeah.
Well, because you got to feel that you're talking like Joe Egan. I've had Mike Tyson. You don't mean say Joe Egan runs hard. He's making a living, isn't he, Joe Egan? Out there telling people, I got battered. Every time I see Joe Egan on social media, everybody's battered him. Why would you want to go brag about that? You sound like Dave Allen, don't you? Boring us to death. He battered me, he battered me, he battered me. He didn't pay me, he battered me, and he knocked me out, stood up. It's boring, isn't it? Boring. They're going around in circles, these people with same old knackers. Sound like me. But no, Chris Eubank Jr. is going nowhere, is he, mate? And that opponent he's got, he don't want to test himself. Was he mid-30s? How's he next gen him? How can that be, Andy? How can that be?
Bricktop's calling him out on that, isn't he? Next gen 34-year-old. He keeps mentioning that, doesn't he?
Listen, this is how I look at it, right? Eubank, you don't want to fight anybody, he's a businessman, but boxing is a business masquerading as a sport, isn't it, really? So I've got a squeaky chair.
WD-40.
Need something on it, kid, don't we? Need something on it. Look, Eubank, is he going to fight Canelo? No. If they offered him 10 million to fight Canelo, he'd take it. He said, "Oh, no, I need a warm-up." Well, we'll give you 10 million to fight Canelo. Oh, I don't need a warm-up. So what is it? So I've seen these interviews. He's saying, well, I want 8 figures to fight Canelo. So they're saying, well, you can have 300 grand to fight this. Who is it? This knockover job in Saudi.
Polish boy, yeah.
Well, I need to keep active, keep my tools sharp. Well, whatever happened to sparring, high-end sparring in the gym? Oh, I need to know how to do it under lights and blah. Well, you've had 30 odd fights under lights. You keep your tools sharp with high-end sparring. Frotch at EIS, when he were fighting Booty, right? That Carl, is it, who owns that Peugeot dealership at Rotherham or Sheffield? He was always hanging out at back at Ingalls. He got white hair, old man about 70 odd. Have you seen him? Corner man. Yeah, he was sat in a sauna next to me, and he didn't know that I were Frotcher's mate. So me and him sat in Ellaby Hotel. And he's talking to this other old fart, and he's going, "Yeah, I've just been at EIS today." "Oh yeah, with he?" "Oh, Frotch was sparring Bob Atchison." And he was going, "Oh yeah, I know he'd been sparring Bob," and he was saying, "Yeah, Bob were knocking Frotch about all week, apparently, according to this old fart." And then they got to last day of sparring. Frotch jumped in ring to spar, 11 stone 10. 11 stone 10. This is how in front he were with his weight. That means he can then eat and get stronger. You know, in fight week, 11 stone 10, last spar, and they put Bob Ashley's through rope, set about him, put hands on him, touched him up, a big 15 stoner. Do you know what I mean? So, and then Frotch obviously done him, didn't he? Done Booty, and he was like, "Oh, him and Flex fought Frotch were done," you know, because of that spot. Right. How stupid! Because look what Frotch went on to do after Booty. Did Yusuf Mack, Kessler, and Grove twice, so he had 4 more fights. See where I'm coming from? So it just shows what that old fart knew, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? Don't go on sparring, but keep your tools sharp. John Pascal, Frotch used to go out to spar him in Canada. Who was that other guy who used to spar? Alan Green, he's been over here. Alan Green spar at EIS.
Yeah.
What other? Tony Bellew were there regular. Callum Smith, all good sparring. Joe Gallagher there up with Callum Smith all the time. You know, really, that's how you keep your tools sharp. Christopher Eubank should have good sparring, Andy.
Yeah, Lennox Lewis always fought young up and coming. Always sparred up young up and coming guys, didn't he? Keep himself sharp.
Frotch was sparring Eubank, one of before he fought Groves.
Yeah,
Eubank were letting his shots go and that. And what they did, they put a video out, didn't they, showing crap bits at sparring. But Lee Frotch has got the full tape. Where Frotch touches you up, doesn't he, Eubank? Knocks you about. Well, Groves probably took confidence from that for rematch and ended up looking stupid in the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ended up on Button Moon. He's still up there with them 100 victims John Fury put up there. Pop, pop, bang. You know what I mean? Gimmick fighter. Chris Eubank Jr. is a gimmick fighter. Do you agree with that? Hey, yeah. Part 2, Andy.
Just give me 5 and I'll be right with you.
I'll see you on for 5 minutes. Part 2. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. All right. We'll have to get in close for part 2. Don't forget, Porky's International. It's our sister channel. Jump over there and subscribe and have a watch. www.boxingnee.com. Don't forget to spread the gospel. I'll see you on part 2. Booyaka.